Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the WIPO Conference Hall here in Geneva, and thank you very much indeed for coming to this FITS Forum, Financial Integrity and Transparency in Sport.
I ask you to use this opportunity to share your experiences and your opinions and join us in the fight to restore credibility to sport financial practice.
On this day, the 3rd of September, we gather here with an important mission, an undeclinable imperative, and that is to create a pathway towards a new era of sports governance and financial integrity, a new era to FITS.
We should really not interfere with politics where it is not necessary, but we have to interfere when it is necessary.
We have to redefine what is needed. What is the kind of freedom of association we need, and what are the guidelines, regulations we want to see for the use of public money?
Is that it has to be based on democratic principles. Because if it doesn't, we give all the opportunities for those who are corrupt to control the organizations.
And it's a big question that's always asked, and I used to ask this as a sports minister. Who regulates the international governing bodies? Who actually sets the standards for international governing bodies? And when you stand back from that, it's a vacuum. I'm not pessimistic, I'm fairly optimistic that I think change is in the air, and I think that's been brought about by a movement of many forces who want to see sport as the great thing it is, the great deliverer of that as well.
It's all about the money, in terms of criminal money, proceeds of crime. Who has it? How do they transact it? For what purpose? Where does it go? How do you prevent it? And if you can't prevent it, how do you detect it?
I think there needs to be some accountability from them as well. They need to be joining that train with us, with the banks, with the law enforcement, to help it become a much, much cleaner place to operate.
Our vulnerabilities for sport and puts them at risk of money laundering, tax evasion, fraud, corruption, and criminal infiltration.
Sport betting is vastly bigger than sport itself, and it's a feeder mechanism of sport. It is also one of the most dark industries in the world, most easy for criminals to infiltrate and to defraud.
And so we certainly see this issue of transnational organised crime as a problem that needs to be addressed at an institutional level. And linking that to club ownership is obviously key in this.
In order for sport to survive, people need to be able to trust it. And it doesn't take much for that trust to be damaged. And once people don't trust sport and they think that it's not clean on the pitch and possibly not clean off the pitch, then they're less inclined to watch it. And once they stop watching it, they're less inclined to pay for it.
I don't think any sport or any governing body can have at the core financial success as its primary objective, because if you do, I think you will fail. I think, as Nick has alluded to, you've got to have in place checks and balances that ensure that the sport is defendable in every respect.
The problem is, if we don't put these things in place in advance, then by the time it comes to it, it's going to be too late. And that's the situation that we're looking at with FIFA. This FIFA issue is not new. This FIFA issue has been going on for a hell of a long time. And if people had been ringing alarm bells, if we'd been enjoying forums like this 10 years ago, then maybe we would have been able to have done something more earlier. But the big question is, so what? What's next? Right? We'll be measured by our actions as opposed to our words, and we've got to be able to push that forward.
¿Se tuvo que prohibir a los bancos? ¿Se prohibieron a los bancos? No. ¿Se hicieron normas de regulación para controlar que esas cosas no ocurriesen? Sí. Esto es lo que hay que hacer aquí.
People have developed a business model, the investors, which is predicated on maximizing the number of player trades. That's what it's about. Is that a good thing for football? Is it a good thing for players? Is it a good thing for clubs? I mean, our view is it isn't. It's a good thing for the traders.
Financial integrity is right at the top of the list, and the ICSS is the only body that seemed to be prepared to tackle the differences that's happening in sport.
It's an excellent initiative, both of the ICSS and of the FITS project in particular. I think it's something that's necessary. It really is a global problem, and it needs, I would say, an independent body like the ICSS and the FITS project to tackle this important issue.
We, the ICSS, we are ready. We are ready and we are eager to help any person and any organization who shares this vision of a clean, safe, and pure sport. Now it's the time for action. Now is the time for all of us to come together and make a difference. Now it's time for leadership. Now it's time to do everything we can to protect the sport we love. The FITS Forum may be over, but our journey does not stop here.
So we have not started the fight against sport corruption yesterday. And I can assure you, we will not end it today. We will deliver. With you, we will take this mission as far as it takes.